at that time. Me and my mom would seldomly refer in hinting ways in our conversations about what had happened. With Guru Dev, I, mm, I at that time I had never spoken with him about, the abuse. He now took the role of my somewhat benefactor or protector in Amsterdam. I never saw him. As I realize now, was the one that was basically um, funding my life over there at first until I started to work and generate some income for myself. He occasionally we would talk over the phone and tell me that he would support me energetically if I would open the space, in Satnam Razayan terms, if you open this space, which is, everywhere, he would be there to support me in whatever way I needed. Maybe initially because it was such he was a point of reference for me. That was such a new reality. It wasn't I was in my right state of mind when I made the choice to accept to go there. So I felt myself quite lost initially, and out of place, a bit awkward at times. It wasn't my comfort zone, my type of reality, what I would choose for myself. I kind of was going along with the program. And at the same time, though, there were good things happening. I met a good group of friends, very dear to my heart. And I was happy to be able to spend time with them. The life at the ashram was for me something that, yes, was existing. I was living there, but I was also trying to escape those rules. Those were not resonating with me. I don't think I ever in my life felt that the strict what I called hybrid Sikh rules were in any way resonating with me and who I am. In fact, yeah, I'm sure that was the reason why the marriage between me and my ex-husband arrived so prematurely, and it was because we were not really respectful of the rule, no sex before marriage. So as soon as the word got to Yogi Bhajan, it was a cause to resolve this matter right away. These two need to be married as soon as possible. In fact, that's what happened on a trip that we took to Rome. At Gurudev's house. He lived in Campagnano. There was a big gathering with Yogi Bhajan, all his entourage, and everyone that was a Yogi Bhajan Gurudev follower came to visit one day, and people were having could you say audiences with him? They would be seen by him, and
like a one-on-one, but a bunch of people in the room witnessing it, similar to the way Yogi Bhajan.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
And
yes.
So Yogi Bhajan would come to these events, or was this just a Gurudev Singh? You're saying Yogi Bhajan.
He was just visiting. He was just visiting Rome at that time before going to Hamburg, I believe, and he was my boyfriend at the time, and I went to visit, and on that occasion particularly, we went to say hi to him, and I remember that he just completely pinned me there in front of him, screaming to me that I had to ask him, my boyfriend, to I had to ask him to marry me. I was just once again, it was one of those moments of shock, because the whole thing started where he was at least at first friendly, when Yogi Bhajan was,
Oh, and why aren't you two married? And I was like, well, I was actually waiting for him to ask me. I was just popping out the very first, because I was very nervous. I popped out the very first answer that came to my head in that moment. Such pressure of all the people there. And I remember my mom and my sister on my right side. And then he was like, he's never gonna ask you to marry him. He was like in that shrieky voice, very annoying. And then he was like, you ask him right now. And he had to say that quite a few times before I was able to dislodge and do that. But I was not super proud of myself. I felt that it was so extorted from me. I felt completely like forced in a violent way, so unnecessary too. And then everybody around, the expectation, I could like, it was palpable. Everybody like, come on, ask him, ask him, ask him. I'm sure that had a lot to do of it was one of the main causes of several dysfunctions in my marriage throughout the whole entire length of it with my ex, unfortunately.